Good day, everybody. A different world, a changing world. It's a world much different today than ever before, and what we know is that it's going to be much different tomorrow as well. It's a different world, but also a more interesting world, more vital, a world that more of us can participate in than probably at any time in our history. So why is that? What has caused the dramatic change in our world that allows us to become more aware, more knowledgeable of the world in which we live? We talk about this smaller world concept, that it seems like we live in a smaller world. Things are more connected. It's easier to become aware of other aspects in our world. And there's some causes for that. First, of course, is technology. And we'll break down technology somewhat, but it starts with computerization. Computerization allows you to have access to information nearly any place in this world. That means that information that's produced in New York can be read almost instantaneously in London. Information produced in New York can be read in cities like Tracy, California. And what that means is that you don't have to advertise or receive the New York Times to read what's in the New York Times or the Washington Post or the Boston Globe. That information is readily accessible, and computerization has allowed that to happen. Importantly, with computerization, not just with the transmission of knowledge, but the marketplace. The second aspect of computerization is the marketplace. You create a virtual marketplace on virtually anything that's produced or sold. Then that means if you make a product in Elk Grove, California, you're able to sell it throughout the world. In a place, in fact, that nearly anybody can access that product. So in addition to having knowledge that goes and is transmitted throughout the world, and you have access to it, you've now created a marketplace that is accessible to nearly anybody in the world, anybody with a computer, anybody with that technology. And that leads us to the third aspect, which is transportation. You can have that transmission of knowledge. You can have that global marketplace, but you have to figure out a way to transmit goods and services. Many goods and services are transmitted online. Taxes are submitted online. Bills are submitted online. In fact, one of the dangers to the United States Post Office is so many of the products that were advertised via the mail are now advertised online. Many of the bills that used to be sent every month are now being paid online, and you get a notification in your email. So that means that you have access to that information, you have the knowledge, you have the marketplace, and now you have the transmission of it, the transportation of it. And for those aspects that you need to transmit physically, i.e. Amazon, it's much, much cheaper to transmit something than ever before. Part of the reason is that the UPSs and Federal Expresses of the world have made it so much easier to transmit a product. The computerization and technology has allowed them to track a package in such a more efficient way that the cost to submit and transmit that package are much less than ever before. When it used to cost $10 and $20 to ship a package, now much of the shipping is free. And that's because places like Amazon and Walmart are sending tens of thousands of packages every day. And so all of this has led to a greater awareness. We as a consumer, we as a citizen, are more aware of our world. And not only does it allow us to have more knowledge, to have this global marketplace, but it allows us to be more understanding of our world. And when we look at different races being able to communicate, we look at different individuals able to communicate, people from different socioeconomic backgrounds able to communicate, what we have learned is that the knowledge that is now accessible makes us more aware and we're more understanding of not just the way our city, our state, our country lives, but how other countries live as well. We're much more accepting, if not welcoming, of other types of lifestyles, of other types of lives. And because of that, we're much more engaged with our community, which is now the world, and we develop a much greater appreciation of not just us, but the others who inhabit this world with us. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the day.